Is there a new wide receiver on the Notre Dame radar?
There is. This one is super interesting to talk about, Darren. So Notre Dame offers Gordon Sellers. He is a 6'3", 175-pound wide receiver from Charlotte. Shocker, Darren. We're talking about Notre Dame and North Carolina, specifically Charlotte. Notre Dame's just gone on a tear, in the Tar Heel state. So Sellers is a really good looking prospect, and he is visiting Notre Dame on Tuesday. Blue and Gold first reported that news, but he is committing this Friday. And he has a top 6 of Clemson, Georgia, Michigan, Ohio State, South Carolina, and in-state FCS program, North Carolina A&T. And I hear Clemson and South Carolina are the teams really to watch there. So let me get this straight. So Notre Dame offered him last week. He's already got a top 6 and a commitment date for April 18th. So what the heck? And so Notre Dame offers, and a week later, he's now visiting campus. Kind of a strange one, right, Darren? Well, I
Yeah.
think the plan for Notre Dame is, all right, let's get this kid on campus, which they are. He's going to spend a full day on Tuesday. I believe he gets into town tonight, and then, we'll get all day Tuesday. If the visit just goes extremely well and Sellers is like, heck of a catch there. We're watching this tape for Darren's radio audience. Yeah, he just absolutely loves it. All right, cool. Rock and roll. Commit to Notre Dame on Friday. I think that's unlikely scenario. I mean, he's just getting to know these people. Very close friends with Notre Dame linebacker commit Thomas Davis Jr., by the way, from what I'm told. Another Charlotte kid and a face of Notre Dame's recruiting class. There is the option to have, hey, he visits tomorrow on Tuesday, and maybe Notre Dame gives him something to think about. He pauses that commitment date on Friday. I think that's an option. Or he could commit to Clemson or South Carolina or some other school, and then Notre Dame tries to flip him later on. So that those are some things to watch. This is a very interesting one. Notre Dame's been tracking him for a while. We're able to offer him last week, and they're going to go after him hard. Gordon Sellers is a player that Notre Dame is very excited about, and the Irish have a. Oh man, Darren, how long we been doing this? 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like 2020-ish. Is when we started doing this, and like how many times have we talked about Notre Dame receiver recruiting? Like, oh man, this is the year. Turn it around. They land a big time class, and then they do on paper, and then most of the guys transfer out or decommit. But this year, it does look like it's got the potential to be something pretty good. And Notre Dame is trending for some guys, and they certainly would love to have Gordon Sellers in the class. But just how they get there, it kind of remains to be seen. But good talks between the Irish staff and Sellers, from what I'm told.
Mike, how successful of a weekend did the Irish have with recruits in town? I'm sure some stuck around for the blue gold game.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we've had blue gold game weekends where Notre Dame just like lands surprising commitments. We didn't have any pledges over the weekend or anything like that, but we're going to talk about like 4 guys here, specifically 3 being from the state of Texas. Like North Carolina is super important for Notre Dame in the 26 cycle and beyond. Texas is too. Like just 2 very crucial states for the Irish recruiting right now. And not to get too off track, but I feel like this can be cyclical. Remember, like Kyle Hamilton is like, oh man, Notre Dame's all in Georgia, and then they signed like Jaden Thomas and Deion Colsey. It's like, all right, Notre Dame's in Georgia now. This is it. Notre Dame's not super active in Georgia, and Florida has been a state that Notre Dame was in, and then I feel like going a few years where you're not, and now Florida. I mean, Notre Dame's got I think 3 commitments from the Sunshine State right now, 2 or 3. So it's kind of like Texas, North Carolina, same thing, like kind of ebbs and flows. But anyways, want to talk about Javian Osborne, top 100 overall. Oh, I guess he dropped down a few spots. Nation's number 103 overall player, number 8 running back, according to the On3 ranking, Forney, Texas. I think that Notre Dame is in the pole position for him. He's announcing his commitment May 3rd, and it's between Notre Dame and Michigan. He was just at Notre Dame for the Blue Gold game. He's visiting Michigan this weekend for the Wolverines spring game. Unless something crazy happens over in Ann Arbor, I think Osborne is trending Notre Dame, and that the Fighting Irish will land him. Braden Robinson, one of the fastest players in the state of Texas, 5'8", 155 pounds. We were just talking about receiver recruiting, Darren. Braden Robinson, someone I've projected to land at Notre Dame, and the Fighting Irish would love to have him. Number 336 overall player, number 53 wide receiver, according to the industry ranking. That's a 4-star prospect. And I think he's going to end up committing between Notre Dame and Miami. He's got a summer commitment. Braden Robinson's trip to South Bend went very well. He also was in town for the junior day at the end of January, and a good visit there. Another Texas guy, Tiki Hola, 6'2" and a half, 285 pounds. I was told he checked in north of 300 pounds at Notre Dame, so might need to get that height weight updated over at On3. Drop down. I think Rivals updated their ranking, so you have a little bit of changes to the On3 industry ranking. He's the number 440 overall player, number 46 defensive lineman in the country, choosing between SMU and Notre Dame. So an in-state school in the Fighting Irish. But, usually it's Notre Dame if they're battling a Texas kid or battling, an in-state school for Texas kids like Texas or Texas A&M. SMU is an interesting one, ACC school now. I think he ends up at Notre Dame, and I've predicted that, but I can't say that with a ton of confidence. Like Osborne, feel pretty darn good. Robinson, feel somewhat fairly good. Holla is not as good as those two. Although if I had to guess, I still think he ends up at Notre Dame. Went to South Bend over the weekend with his whole family. They loved it. It's just kind of closing time now. He's supposed to be committing, I believe it's May 10th. So a lot of decision dates around the corner, and Notre Dame definitely wants to get Hollow in the class. He's one of their top defensive linemen left on the board.
One bonus question for
Sure.
you. Irish fans got their first look at
I'm sorry, Darren. I had one more guy to talk about. So let
Go
me
ahead.
jump to that.
Yeah.
For our folks in the Hoosier State, got to talk about Munchon Sales in the 2027 recruiting class. Indianapolis Lawrence North, the nation's number 23 overall player, number 3 wide receiver in America. And this, I believe, his second time visiting campus. I want to say he visited for a game last fall and then was at the Blue Gold game. Game day visits are great, but the coaches are coaching, right? Like it's a game day visit. It's not as in-depth, like, hey, let's sit down, let's get you around campus, let's get you in all these meetings. That's like a spring visit. So I'm told that Notre Dame wants to get Sales to campus this week to do all of those things because, again, he's taking 2 game day trips. So Sales is a huge target for Notre Dame in 2027. The Irish really want to land the top guys in Chicago and in the Hoosier State. So Munchon Sales, a 6'3", 180-pound wide receiver from nearby, consensus top 100 overall player. Sign you up, right? That's what Notre Dame needs, right? You get a lot of legacy guys, or hey, my brother's on the team. It's like Bryce Young is a 5-star per 24/7 Sports, but like Al Washington and company don't get credit for landing him just because he's a legacy. Well, they still count, right? So legacies, let's get all those guys, but also let's get the in-state guys, the Chicago guys. Let's land these players, especially when they're so elite like this. Go get Munchon Sales.